Welcome to Mind Body Mastery. I am Dr. Erin Wheeler. I am your host, founder, Gracefully Productive. It is a consulting and coaching company dedicated to supporting leaders of color in thriving and exiting burnout. Thank you so much for being with me today. This is my second episode of this series. I started last year with the Refueling Station Live, a place where leaders of color can live, be, and do well. And this Mind Body Mastery is my way of combining all of my education, my background in biological sciences, as well as my PhD in science education, where I studied the science of success, cognitive psychology, how we use motivation to get things done. So, this represents all of those years combined, all of my nerding out and research, all of my love for health and wellness, and just helping us to be and do better, perform better in whatever role that you have. So, thank you so much for joining me. Last year, I kind of debuted this at the end of last year just to test it. And so I talked about hydration. And for the first week of January, I know we're all trying to do better, exercise, diet, all that great stuff. I wanted to focus on sleep. Getting more sleep is probably on no one's vision board, really. But I do want to emphasize the importance of sleep, especially in this culture when we have so much pressure to grind 24/7, when we think that stopping and resting is a sign of weakness, that we're going to lose something by resting, that we're going to miss something by resting, and all of the things that go into not to go on in our day that causes us not to get as much sleep. So I want to talk about the signs of sleep today. And for my title will be, let me pull that up for y'all. Are you sleeping on your success? Are you? Are you sleeping on your success? Success comes not by happenstance, but by work and effort. And we have to put more effort into taking care of our bodies because that's the only thing we have to do the work that we have to do, our mind and our body. So we must honor it. And one way to honor it is getting sleep. Sleep is so important. It is vital to our health. It is not a luxury, it is a necessity. We must get quality sleep consistently, or we'll end up having being at risk for shorter lifespans, chronic conditions. The list goes on. We'll talk about all of those, the impact of not getting enough sleep. I'll also talk about the ways we can get more sleep and the things that we need to do to understand about sleep. What is the science of sleep? What is sleep? So sleep is really the body's way of restoring mentally and physically, restoring what we've put out during the day. So when we are asleep, our body goes into this shutdown state in which we're not digesting, we're not thinking, we're not moving. So our muscles get time to restore itself. Our brain does this thing where we're processing things in the day, we're wiping things that we don't need to remember. We get a clean slate when we wake up. That's what happens in our sleep. So we need it. The body needs time to regenerate, to restore, to refresh, to heal, to re-energize. That is what sleep does. It's more than just us closing our eyes. It really is a necessity in our health. How many hours do we really need for sleep? That is a great question. Some people can brag about getting away on 4 hours of sleep or not getting maybe 2 hours of sleep or an hour. I will be crazy if I got that number of sleep. I need sleep. At one point in time where I was very anxious and wound up and let my thoughts run wild, I admit I wouldn't get quality sleep. But once, I don't even know when it happened, but I love sleep. I look forward to it. And it is like I am a brand new girl. It is a brand new world. My day is reset. I don't remember anything that happened, any anxiety, any worries that I had. I would just sleep all my problems away, right? But the science says that 7 to 9 hours is is the required number of sleep for us to have optimal health. The sweet spot is 7 hours, but our personal differences may impact that number. The next part I want to talk about is, how does sleep deprivation really hurt us? You hear we need to get sleep, you hear all of these things, but what is the science behind sleep deprivation? So there's five important things you need to understand about sleep deprivation. One, it impairs our cognition. Cognition just simply means our thinking and reduces our focus. When we don't get enough sleep, our brains we don't have that time to restore and process all the inputs. Just think about all the things that you receive, you see, you hear, you smell, you taste all throughout the day. Your brain has to have a time where it can sort through what's important, what's not. And if it's not important, it'll remove some of those things from our short-term memory so we can think quicker, we can think clearly. If we don't get enough sleep, all of that stuff keeps piling up, and that's why we can't remember things. It also plays a part in our hormones. You may think about hormones, estrogen, testosterone, but there are several hormones in our bodies, and it's just chemical messengers that have certain functions. Sleep and is vital to regulating those hormones. Hormones that include helping us to remember to eat, helping us to sleep and wake up, helping us to think, helping us to defend our bodies from stress. So sleep is vital. And if you've joined me on any refueling stations or when I talk about burnout, you'll hear the word cortisol. Cortisol is that hormone that helps guards us from stress, helps us in stressful situations when we need it, when we need more blood flow. It's our body's really programmed to fight bears and dinosaurs and everything else. But times have changed. Our body DNA hasn't really. When we are stressed out, whether it's by a boss that makes us mad or a kid that's getting on our nerves, it's all the same stress. Our body reacts in the same way, but we don't need that much. You don't need blood rushing just to deal with a boss. Very different than you would fighting off a bear, right? Sleep plays a vital role in all of the hormonal regulation. For example, if we are not getting enough sleep, our body may overcompensate with the hunger signals. We may not be hungry, but we may overeat, which leads to obesity, which leads to low energy. And it all cycles back and connects to one another. Sleep deprivation leads to increased chronic conditions. What are chronic conditions? Heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity. All of those things are chronic conditions that can be linked to not getting enough sleep over a long period of time. Get this, kids who don't get enough sleep have the same risk as adults for all of these chronic conditions, even at their age. And for adults who are aging, the people who are in my age brackets, the Gen Xers, the elder millennials, who are hitting the 40s and the 50s, we may be the ones that are grinding, holding up different companies, running small businesses. We're the parents. Some of us are grandparents. But we cannot go on for long operating without sleep because it actually leads to neurodegeneration, which means breaking down of brain cells, which impairs going back to thinking, focus, reasoning, problem solving, but it also leads to dementia. So we want to be able to protect ourselves in the long run. We have to think about what the choices we make today, how it's going to impact our tomorrow. And we have to protect our bodies because we only have one. In the words of my sister, she tells her kids, you only have one face, so don't bust it by running around and tripping. I love the way she parents. It's super fun. But yeah, so kids need more sleep. We need more sleep. Families need more sleep. Everybody needs more sleep. The reasons that we can't get more sleep, one is due to our dietary influences. Certain foods, sugar, caffeine, alcohol, all impact our quality of sleep. It all plays a part in impacting how we go into those sleep cycles and how long we stay, if we can even get to a deep quality of sleep. So, choosing a better diet can really help you get more sleep. What are some examples? For my coffee lovers, my Coke lovers, you got to cut back. That caffeine really does not do well for sleep. Now, I'm going to give you one small caveat in a minute, but you have to watch how you intake caffeine, the amount and the timing of it. For me, I've been working on for a few years now. I wasn't a coffee lover, but at some point in my career, I was around a lot of coffee drinkers, and so I became a coffee lover. I started to push back the time that I had coffee. So if I had it as soon as I got to work at 8 or as soon as I got up, I started to push it back at 11, 12, 1 after lunch and stop right there. I wouldn't drink any other coffee after 2, after 3, because I could feel the effects. My body is still my body. You become sensitive once you start cutting down, so you don't need as much caffeine. So I can just feel I'm still jittery, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm still like on, and I cannot get to sleep. So I began to replace coffee with water, with protein shakes, with teas. I'm right now on my mushroom coffee kick as a replacement, just to give me some extra energy and focus in the morning. If you can just maybe put this on your vision board, on your list of things to do, you will probably find that you can improve your sleep quality just by that one thing. Even that glass of wine in the evening can affect your sleep quality. It may make you sleepy for short term, but getting to that deeper REM sleep or that deeper quality of sleep, it will inhibit that. Sugar, processed sugar, too much chocolate, too much processed snacks throughout the day or definitely before bedtime really amps up your body. It's still trying to it's very hard to process sugar in the body. So it's really going to affect that sleep quality. The second thing or second way that our sleep, our second thing that impacts our sleep is nutrient deficiency. One of the things that I know about myself, as well as a lot of African Americans, we have low vitamin D. For me, I don't go outside because I'm allergic to everything outside: bushes, trees, shrubs, roaches, long haired dogs, everything, definitely cats. Everything makes me congested. So although I know getting out sunlight does well for my mental health. I'm working on it. Um, take lots of sinus and allergy medicines, but overall, we suffer from lower quality of vitamin D. And vitamin D is important to sleep as well as other functions, but is really important for sleep. The second thing you might want to put a pulse or keep a check on is your magnesium. For me, I used to suffer with Charlie horses a lot. Definitely my sleep muscles are tight all the time. What magnesium does is the actual muscle relaxer. It's the nature's muscle relaxer. It impacts how our muscles contract and relax. So if you are low on magnesium, that means it doesn't have enough of that mineral to help your muscles relax. Magnesium even plays a part in heart health, and our heart is a muscle, so you can understand how that may connect. So if you are, hopefully everybody's scheduling their annual appointment soon or biannual appointment soon, make sure your doctor checks. I definitely know there's a vitamin D. There may be a test for magnesium, but make sure you're getting that. You can get magnesium from green leafy vegetables. I know if you're a dog, you don't like vegetables, you might want to start doing that. You can also supplement magnesium or take vitamin D supplements to help do that, or spend time outside. Multiple ways, But these two things, nutrient deficiencies, can also impact your sleep. Once I was very consistent taking supplements, upping my green vegetables, I could definitely tell when I'm on my game, my sleep is much more improved. I'm in a deeper sleep for longer, and I feel better once I wake up. Another thing that impacts our sleep is lack of exercise. Now, this one, my doctor had to slap me about. I knew it, but I didn't practice it. Exercise. Once I started working from home more, I wasn't walking to my car, I wasn't walking to the building, I wasn't walking up flights of stairs, I wasn't going by people's offices. I wasn't doing any of that. Those steps really count. And then on top of it, I wasn't uh, adding on any gym time or anything. My life, just working from home, makes it easier. But for me, it really did change how I ate, how I slept, how I exercised, how I felt. I could tell the sedentary life. I try to move as much as I can because I can feel the difference now of just getting out just because of just going to the store, not doing pickup. COVID really messed us up. And one way that we don't get those steps and also additional exercise. For me, I need steps and I need exercise is what my body needs. So if you're not exercising, your body isn't tiring itself out, and your body still may say, "Hey, I got a couple hours to go. Is 9 o'clock yet? It feels like 4. I'm usually tied around 4, but your mind has left the building. Your mind is ready to go to sleep, but your body is still has a little bit of energy. You hadn't burned anything, you hadn't moved, hadn't stretched, you hadn't gone for a walk or exercise. So your lack of exercise could be impeding your ability to feel sleepy at nighttime and stay asleep and have that great quality of sleep you need to be refreshed in the morning. Now, some people may say, hey, the only time I have to exercise is at night. Light walking, stretching, any of that can help burn off some of those calories and energy so you can feel sleepy and a little bit tired so that you can get some good rest. Another thing, well, they both dovetail. I say two things: stress, anxiety, and racing thoughts. I know sometimes we don't have a nice, complete close to our day. We may have to do something to address those thoughts and really put that's where the work life boundary comes in place. We're still thinking about work and everything we have to do the next day. We may still be stressed out, mad about something that happened. Somebody, a phone call may have vexed you, but you have to be able to shut off those thoughts. I know my mind used to race. Again, I don't know what happened. I don't know. At some point, I couldn't get to sleep. That was younger. Maybe I had a lot to think about. And when I think back to it, college, post college, I'm like, what did I really have to worry about versus now? But now I can get to sleep and I know how to manage those thoughts. So, one tip for me that really works, you can try it. If your mind races before you go to bed, or if you're stressed, write it down. I will replay things in my head and get overwhelmed in my head. And I'm like, it doesn't seem like a lot, but my brain is just remembering this, that, that. I have to brain dump. I keep a whiteboard or a notebook by my bed to just dump everything that's on my mind. And I'll sort it out in the morning and say what's high priority, low priority, what's urgent, what I need to take care for. But once I brain dump it, it's like 4 points. But in my brain, it feels like 100 points that's going to take me all year to do. You have to be able to control your thoughts before you go to bed, or have a boundary to where you're shutting off. And by the time you go to bed, your brain is shutting down. This is where meditation, prayer, sermons, reading your scripture, coloring, reading a book comes in handy because it starts to signal the brain to wind down. I've given you ways that our sleep is impacted, why our sleep is impacted. So It's the only way for me to wrap this up by giving you 6 strategies on improving your sleep. Establish a consistent sleep schedule. I know this sounds easier said than done, but it should be one of your New Year's resolutions is to say, hey, no matter what's going on, it can wait. I will go to bed and deal with it tomorrow. It could seem like you're procrastinating, especially if you're a high achiever, but you need to have a consistent sleep schedule. One of the things that I missed as a kid is like you as a kid you wanted to stay up and just watch TV and do anything you want, but now you wish that somebody would tell you, hey, it's 9 o'clock, go to bed. I don't care what you're doing, go to bed. That's what I desire. But I have to tell myself that go to bed, go to bed. My time is usually 11 o'clock. That is the time, but I have to wind down at 9. But my body is like, ooh, Erin, you're free. You don't have to work. You don't get nowhere. Go anywhere tomorrow. You can stay up and work late. Like I have to tell myself, nope, there's a boundary. I'm going to bed. Whatever I can do will be done tomorrow. There might be sometimes I do a late night, but that's when I have a little autonomy or breaking my schedule to where I can do 8 hours or I can get enough sleep without it being interrupted. I'm promising myself to keep those days at a minimum, but it's really important for you to establish a consistent sleep schedule, even on the weekends, making sure your body can regulate its internal clock so it can be an automatic thing where you get sleepy at this time, you wake up at this time. That is going to be essential. In addition to a schedule, you should also create a bedtime routine that helps you relax. I'll go back to my other point. That glass of wine may not be as relaxing as it can. It can dehydrate you, which also affects your sleep. I should have included that on the diet. Water dehydration can one help you impact how you go to sleep, but it also can make it hard for you to wake up. But creating a relaxing bedtime routine, it could be drinking sleepy time tea, crossword puzzles, coloring, yoga, meditation. It should be something that signals your brain and your body that it's time to go to sleep. This also means optimizing your sleep environment to where you are taking away all of your devices. Those devices emit a blue light that actually inhibits melatonin, which is a chemical that regulates our sleep. Blue light actually says, hey, it's still daytime. Stay up. Your eyes are getting taking that in, and your brain is saying, oh, that's light, that's daytime. So you want to start, and this is something that I'm working on myself, is to get rid of those devices at daytime. I'm going to be at a point where I'm reading a paper book rather than reading a book on my Kindle or not having the TV on. It takes a while to put these habits into practice, but once you're aware and you try, you're going to see a big difference. Lastly, I have two more left. Managing your stress and anxiety. I actually went ahead and jumped ahead, but I'll reiterate it because it's important. You need to figure out a way to calm those thoughts, filter them, meditate, write them down, journal, brain dump a to-do list for tomorrow, organize your day. Do that before you go to bed so your brain can always say, hey, I don't have to hold on to that. She wrote it down. I'm clearing out space, his short-term memory, so they can be able to focus and be alert tomorrow. This all works together. That's why meditation, all of these things, the mindfulness really does help our mental and our physical health because it actually helps us to get to sleep. Bonus tip, power naps. Power naps. So I don't know how naps were eliminated for adults in America. Let me be clear, America. Other cultures around the world actually shut down. It is policy, practice, cultural habits to shut down for 1 or 2 hours in the afternoon to allow people to rest, siestas. And we won't adopt it, but you can create this on your own. because it's your body. You need to do what you can to keep it up. We were programmed to think that napping is like lazy and we are avoiding work and the burden of work is too hard, whatever. That's pre-programmed. And so we think napping is very inappropriate when if you nap, you can improve your performance. If you nap, you can probably come up with a really great answer to a problem your boss is having. When you are refreshed and alert and you have a chance for your brain to rest, even if you're working at a white collar job, that's still taxing on your brain. Your body may feel okay, but your brain is doing all the work. So you need time to shut down. Power naps are a real thing. The science behind it, the research behind it shows that power naps boost creativity and performance 30 to 60%. That means you can do better work quicker rather than just trying to struggle through it and you still end up getting mediocre work, or you're still not completing a project on time, or you're not making any progress, right? So power naps are a good thing and you should consider it. Another reason to consider it, reduce heart disease by 40%. That goes into resting and being able for the body to restore itself, not taxing the heart, reducing the stress, taking some time for the body to really relax, restore, and heal. That all is in line with this statistic. When should you take a power nap? So there are some, for it to be optimal and for you to benefit the most, you should take a nap anywhere from 2 to 4 p.m. Anything later is going to affect your nighttime sleep. But the sweet spot is 7 hours after you wake. Our bodies are primed to really have 2 sleep cycles in 24 hours. That's the way God made us. We wake and we rise according to the sun rising and setting. We can't change that, but our society has made it to where we are squeezing out every little bit of morsel out of our bodies by working later, longer, more, not having breaks. Everybody expecting you to perform at 100% for 8 hours when your body is like, I'm done. It's been 4 hours. You fed me. Maybe I'm still trying to catch up from the last 3 weeks of me not sleeping. I'm done. Your body's saying it's done, but we're still pushing ourselves. We treat our bodies, we treat our phones and our laptops and our devices better than we do our bodies. We will run to find a plug when we need it. We will connect it to anywhere, any place. We'll make sure we have a place to recharge, but we won't do that for ourselves. So power naps are that way that we can recharge and we can actually do more in that time that's left. Instead of just dragging through it, you're staring at a screen. You're not focused. All you want to do is Netflix, or you're scrolling through IG because you just can't think anymore. It's because your brain is done. Your body is done. Power naps are a way for you to perform better throughout the day, make the most of your day, and do more. That is the secret to high performers in any area. One other trick about power naps, I did say that there was a little asterisk by coffee. If you must drink coffee, drink it after lunch, right before you take a nap or close your eyes for a little just downtime, a little rest. The caffeine will not have you fall into a deep sleep. So you won't be scared to fall into like a deep sleep, but it will keep you up enough where you'll just be in that first part of the non-REM sleep, which is that refresher sleep before you fall off into a deep sleep. If you have trouble napping, it is not it's not anything physiological. It is a mental barrier because of the way we're programmed to think about napping and sleeping. Napping and sleeping is not optional. It is a necessity. It is not a luxury. We need it. It is a requirement for us to be at the top of our game. You never know what creative idea, what solution you could have that could change wherever you are, whether it's your work, your home, whether you're writing a book, you're owning a business. You never know what clarity of thought could do to propel you to the next level, but we may never know if we don't get enough sleep. So please, as you're making your New Year's resolutions and you're thinking about how can you do better this year, please include sleep. And if you feel like your life is too chaotic, where you can't get enough sleep, you can't even take a nap, you can't even close your eyes for a minute, but you feel like your health, your mental health, your physical health, and your work are suffering or are in jeopardy, please feel free to reach out to me to see how coaching can help you. Productivity coaching is something that I do where I help look at your time, your habits, everything, so you can maximize all your resources and make things happen. Just could be a shift in thought, could be a shift in how you do things. Coaching helps, and I want to help you. So, like sleeping is vital, and it really does have an impact on our health, our life expectancy, and our quality of life. And you should not skimp on it. So thank you so much for joining me today. Two things before I log off. Refueling Station Live. If you are watching this late or watching the replay, I do Refueling Station Live. Again, it's for leaders of color to live, do, and be well, where we talk about leadership tips, productivity for the workplace, productivity, well-being topics to help you be a better person as well as a leader and prevent or escape burnout. So catch me Thursdays at 12:30 Central Time, or you can catch the replay on my YouTube channel. And be sure to connect with me. You can learn more about Gracefully Productive at gracefullyproductive.com. If you want to join my email list, I really encourage you to, because I have a lot of exciting things coming up this year to really help you maximize and push yourself to the next level, do all the things you want to do that you might feel stuck and not capable of doing. I'm here to be your accountability partner, your mentor, your coach. So you want to join that mailing list, you can email me at info@gracefullyproductive.com, or you can sign up on the lead form on my page at gracefullyproductive.com. I hope you have a sweet dreams after listening to this. And I hope you take at least one of the tips that I've given you to try to implement, and even just do it for 30 days to see how your sleep is impacted, but also see how you feel afterwards. That's going to help you to keep doing it after 30 days. If you really are aware that, I do feel a little better. I do feel a little energized. I feel clear. My attitude is a little bit better. I'm not snapping on everybody. I'm waking better. I'm waking refreshed. I'm waking hopeful. I'm going to sleep, and I'm excited to get to sleep. I want you to be at that place in 30 days, and I hope you continue that habit. So sweet dreams. Thank you so much for tuning into Mind Body Mastery, and I hope that you will join me for future episodes. Bye-bye now.